Good morning. It's Sunday, June 6th, 2021, and it's been a while since you might have seen me in front of my general setup, my original setup, my talking head setup. I hope everyone's doing well, keeping safe and healthy. Vaccines are rolling out. Things are looking more hopeful. That light at the end of the tunnel seems to be closer than ever. Even though, we're not completely out of the woods, mixed metaphor, but I hope everyone's taking good care out there. This is a real-time vlog for Sunday, June 6th, 2021. I'm actually going to be recording another video later on today, which I'm super looking forward to, and hopefully when it does at some point post, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to jump on and do a real-time vlog or an update, because I think that I know that it could be a little strange watching some videos from me from a couple months ago and just wondering how I might be doing right now. So this is how I'm doing right now. I'm on day 2 of cycle 15. So round 2. Here's some jargon. Here's some cancer terminology. So each experience, each treatment, each chemo treatment is a cycle, and within each cycle there is a round. So the round is how many cycles of chemotherapy is a part of that particular round. So my first round was 12 FOLFIRINOX treatments, cycles of FOLFIRINOX, which consisted of 3 different chemotherapy drugs. It was oxaliplatin, irinotecan, and something called the 5-FU, which is the pump that I have. And like I said, I'm currently on day 2. Yesterday I was at the hospital for a couple of hours because now I am doing FOLFIRI with the omission of the oxaliplatin, because I have been experiencing neuropathy, increasing neuropathy with the FOLFIRINOX. Oxaliplatin is known to cause neuropathy. It's the one that where the cold sensitivity is heightened. And currently my neuropathy is that it's difficult to feel sensitivity in relation to like the things that I'm touching. There's some and I think it's accurate that some people call it feeling like pins and needles, which is to me not exactly pain, but sometimes it could be painful. Like if I haven't been using my hands for a while, I might brace myself to get up from the couch or something. I'll find that like I'll feel a little bit of pain and sensation, the pins and needles sensation. And it was I had dropped a couple of things that I reported to my oncologists, and they felt that that it would be good for the time being to omit the oxaliplatin. And so I'm on a maintenance regimen. So there was, let me just back up for a second. So in addition to the neuropathy, my CT scans and my CA19-9, which is the tumor marker that's often used for pancreatic cancer, show a stability, but nothing. There hasn't really been a decrease in disease for the last little while. So my oncologist believes that maybe I have plateaued, and I am still hoping for shrinkage. But my oncologists believe that there's been a plateau with the current treatment, and so we're on a maintenance regimen, which is also reduces a part because of my neuropathy. So the oxaliplatin, which would cause a neuropathy, and the cold sensitivity and stuff like that, that has been omitted for this round. So I'm on my second round of Porphyry, again without the oxaliplatin. So the FOLFIRINOX, Porphyry, and then the oxaliplatin FOLFIRINOX, and then Porphyry is the 5-FU, which is this pump, and the irinotecan, which I'm allergic to, and I have to get, I can't remember the shot anyway, which is like my least favorite shot of everything that all the crap that I have to take, and medications and needles and all this kind of stuff. Not my favorite. It's my least favorite, in fact. But so there you go. Those are the two. The Porphyry is what I'm doing currently, and I'm on day two of cycle 3 of round 2. If that makes any sense. So if that's the update on treatment. I have another CT scan coming up in 2 weeks' time, which I think there's always some nervousness around scans because you certainly don't want to see a progression in disease. To have stability is good. To know that there's been some progression, not progression, but some response to treatment, which means shrinkage. That would be it's even more awesome. But we're at a place where we believe that it's stable, but we'll see. So that's in a couple of weeks. That's on the 18th. So right before my next cycle of chemotherapy. So that's where I'm at treatment-wise. And if anyone ever has any questions about that, please let me know below. If there's anybody coming across this who's experiencing pancreatic cancer and looking at treatment options and things like that, and have questions. Certainly no real expert at it, but I'm at least 8 months in at this point, so there are some things that I know, so I'd be more than happy to help, especially if it's something that you're coming across real time. There may be a time in the future where I may not be around to be able to answer those questions, but for the time being, it appears that I'm hanging in. So that's where I'm at treatment wise. Appointments, things like that. My main focus right now is reducing some weight, and there are certainly aesthetic reasons for that, just my own sense of vanity, but there's also from the health perspective where so it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because like pancreatic cancer, it's good to be gaining weight rather than losing weight, but gaining too much weight means that there might be some additional issues in terms of liver functions and stuff like that. And my liver enzyme numbers have been elevated somewhat, not to cause any concern, but I mean enough that it's good to downward trend it at this point rather than to see it climbing. So and one of the things that have been recognized as something that could be helpful is maybe to get a bit of weight loss. And I think now that the weather here in Toronto is a lot better, I think that's and I'm feeling a lot more energetic. It'll hopefully help. And comfort eating is a thing for me. And I think that there were, like at any given time, there could be different things to worry about and anxieties and things. And I enjoy food very, very much. Very, different, varying good foods very much. And sometimes I personally can get into the mentality of like, I don't know when I'll be able to have this again. So, why not indulge now? I mean, I think there's some truth to that, but I also want to give myself as long of a fighting chance as possible to be around. So if it means that I, get a better sense of control of that, I think that that's a good thing. So that's sort of the health update for where I'm at. I'm sure there's other things that's not coming to mind. I should probably make notes before I turn on the camera, but I don't. Sorry. Let's see. Oh yes, the thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that I fell for a phone scam 3 days ago, and on Friday, this past Friday. And this past Friday was probably one of like the lowest days I've had, well, in recent memory anyway, because I'd not drank coffee for a very long time, so I'll start there. So in keeping with this feeling of trying to maybe satiate some of my hunger, and in the past, coffee has been successful in doing that for me, just to see whether or not I can do a little bit of intermittent fasting to not eat so early in the morning when I would wake up and think, oh, what I want to eat today, and then just kind of start eating like really early in the morning and just be snacking throughout the day. I was thinking that maybe if I can start eating a little bit later in the day, I wouldn't be consuming as many calories, and maybe it'll just be a better way for me to be able to moderate, and I'll start from there, that kind of thing. So I haven't had coffee in, like regularly, had coffee in probably 2 years. And the thing is though, when I was drinking coffee, I had it down to a T, like that I just loved. Oh, that's kind of weird thing to say, but I had it down though for like a perfect cup of coffee, because I'm into good cups of coffee as well. So so Thursday I had a couple nice cups of coffee, and it actually did help me manage sort of like my hunger, especially during the first part of the day, and I had a little later start to my eating, and that felt good, and I didn't feel as I ate as much on Thursday, so I thought, okay, this is working. So Friday tried the same thing, but I think all that extra caffeine, all that extra acidity from the coffee caught up to me, and I was feeling a bit nauseous by midday. And I thought, okay, like I'm not feeling great. I maybe should eat something. That didn't really help. Again, feeling nauseous. And like that, in a way that I haven't felt nauseous in like months. And probably close to the kind of nausea that I was feeling before I was diagnosed. So probably at some point like last August or something like that. And it kind of had me sort of worrying and panicking and wondering, is it the coffee? Is it the cancer? Is it maybe both? I mean, who knows? But I wasn't feeling great. So in the midst of all of that, I get a phone call, and the number on my call display is of one of the banks that I bank with, and it's a number that's listed on the back of one of the credit cards that I have. And so I answer the phone, and there's immediately this spiel about, like, we're calling because we believe that your phone's your credit's been compromised. There's some charges on it that look suspicious, so that we have frozen your account for the time being. Can you verify your information? And I immediately, like, and it's happened to me before, as I think it's happened to many of us, And I went by the trusting of the phone number that I saw come in, so the display call number that came in. So immediately, like the kind of the, what is this, what is that, like what is your address, what's your phone number, what's your, well, I mean, I didn't have my date of birth, that kind of stuff. But after, like, so that was initially all the information, right, that was asked for, and I gave it, and he starts saying, it's like, oh, like the last charge is a few $1,000s. Was that yours? It's like, no, totally wasn't mine. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is maybe yeah, like this is potentially going to be a pain in the butt to work through. And he's like saying, it's like, oh, we're gonna, we have this new product called LifeLock, and it's gonna help you keep a better eye on like fraudulent charges and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Is there a charge to that? And no, this is something that we want to do for you and our customers and blah, blah, blah. But like, as we kept talking, it was very, like, I was getting more suspicious, asking for, verbally asking for a PIN to my card was the first thing. And then there were a couple of other sort of details that seemed really strange. And eventually I said, I gave you a lot of information, and now that like I'm kind of like getting up to speed with stuff here, I don't know that I feel like I have enough of a validation on your part that this is like who you say you are. And immediately the guy got super defensive, didn't offer ways to be able to validate, like to be able to work through my concerns, but just got defensive. Just be like, oh, if I was really the thief, blah, 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 or if I was trying to scam you, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, that doesn't feel good. So when he was asking me for my PIN verbally, I was just saying, I was giving him actually the wrong PIN. And he's like, oh, well, that's not the right PIN. I said, oh, I don't ever use a PIN on this credit card, so I don't know what the PIN could be. Is there any way to validate my account without me giving you this PIN? So he puts me on hold. And while he has me on hold, Joe was out running an errand. He comes back in, and we're talking about it. And I said, and I had it on speakerphone, so he was listening too. And he's like, I think you should hang up and call the bank. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's a really good idea. So while he had me on hold, I called the bank, and of course the bank is like, no, nothing like that's happened on your account. So I had to cancel the account. And it was just stupid on my part, but I mean, they got me. Like, they used the legit phone number, they used the legit call display. They said the right things right off the bat to get me to be like, yes, let's fix this. It's just the longer that it went on, the more suspicious it got. And they didn't get my social insurance number, which is the same thing as a social security number in the States. So that's good, I guess. But I had to call all my accounts and just to flag to make sure that no one's trying to access those things. My next thing is to go to the credit unions, the credit, whatchamacallit, the TransUnion and Equifax, I think. And apparently they have a couple of products where if there are people trying to apply for loans or things like that, other credit and stuff, that they would flag it and not just know that wasn't me. So that's something that I have to do tomorrow. Of course, all this happened on Friday, so Friday night actually. So I couldn't do a lot of that TransUnion Equifax thing because I have to call them. I can't do that stuff online. So that was a downer. because I have a thing about for a very, very long time, and it might have come from some experiences that I've had in the past, but also the immigrant experience, I think, too, of like not knowing what's happening and then having someone take advantage. I think that happened, quite a bit when I was younger. And some things that happen, quite young in life could be like quite formative. And so I have a deep distrust of people trying to take advantage or not to have my best interests at heart, I guess, because there are a number of things that happened when I was younger. And this kind of thing was just like, it's annoying, like I'm just like, why would someone want to take advantage of another person this way? And I could kind of go into the victim mentality, but it was my fault for not having vetted the person that was calling, just assumed based on some of the information that he had really quickly given me and the call display that, and this kind of like going into this emergency mode about my credit being stolen, that kind of stuff, or my identity being stolen even, which I contributed to by giving them, additional information about my date of birth and stuff like that. So anyway, it was like, Friday was just a day emotionally, which was really crappy going into chemo on Saturday, and because I was afraid that just being in that lower kind of a mindset might contribute to not having a good experience with the chemo this cycle. So far it's okay, and I've not been beating myself up too much about what happened on Friday, but not happy about that. Just feels crappy. But I don't wish bad things on this person. I'm sure that they have their reasons for doing what they do. There's a part of me that wants to like reach out into the phone and be like, hey, I have other problems, as we all do right now, but I have my problems, and I'm about to go into chemo tomorrow, and you want me to go into chemo with a bad, not as good of a brain thing, and then on top of that I had some digestive issues, which might have also been exacerbated by this thing with the phone scamming. So, but I'm feeling okay today, and I think that we are going to have kind of a fun day today planned. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope that you'll enjoy the video when it comes out. But I had to meditate on this one, but I do send love and care to this person and whatever organization that does this kind of a thing, and hope that they could maybe at some point listen to their own hearts and the love that they have for other people, and know that regardless of the situation that they're in, that doing this to other people isn't the answer. It may seem like a temporary answer to them, maybe, but hopefully at some point they'll understand that it's not. So I send love and care out to them. Trying. But I absolutely send love and care to you. Chef's kiss to you all out there. Hope you're eating well and taking care of yourself and the others that you love and care around you. I send you love and care, and that's the update for now, and I'll talk to you again real soon. So if you made it this far, holy cow, like I can fucking ramble 24 minutes in, there will be more outside type adventures ahead. So that's where we're at. Talk to you soon.